Right in the city, and yet a million miles away, is the Conservancy and Nature Centre. An area of 21 acres, it is home to more than 150 species of native and exotic wildlife. Guided boat tour is free, informative, and an enjoyable 40 minutes.
20 out, 20 back, and I hope in the process we learn a little bit about the environment that I'm going to take you through. This lagoon is 7 to 11 feet deep. We get 2 tides a day ranging between 2 and 4 feet. The water is brackish water, which you know is a combination of fresh water and salt water from the Gulf of Mexico. It gets this funny color because of the mangroves. The mangroves give off tannic acid, which converts to tannin, and it stains the boat, and it stains the water just like tea would. That's a good.
Oh, what was that then?
That was probably a mullet. A mullet is a vegetarian fish, and for some reason, the sound of the motors in the boat stirs them up, and they jump. Most of the time, they jump a little bit higher, and I'll tell you more about that because I want to talk about what's in this canal here. And we're going to be through it before I know it. A little bit ahead of us and coming up on the right side is the red mangrove. The red mangrove is this nice soft yellow-green shrub. It is the workhorse of the Everglades. This is the red mangrove on the right side now. Little tiny leaf, that's the Brazilian pepper, and I suggest you don't get too friendly with it because it's somehow related to poison ivy and some people get a rash from it. And you're looking at a guy that gets a heck of a rash from it. The Melaleuca is the plague of Florida. Back some, 30 years ago when they were trying to develop the Everglades, they had a terrible time with just too much water. And, they'd take these big scoop shovel things, and they'd scoop up sand, get a lot of water with it, and put it up on what land they had, and it would run right back in because it was almost all water. Well, they heard in Australia that there was a tree known as the Melaleuca, and it just loved water. So they went over there and paid natives to climb up in the trees and pick the seeds. They brought them back to Florida and went up in airplanes and just scattered the seed, helter-skelter, all over southern Florida. Well, as a result, the Melaleuca is growing at the rate of 50 acres a day, and 1 acre of Melaleuca will consume 2,100 gallons of water every single hour of the day. We just can't afford that much water for a tree that is of no consequence. The Brazilian pepper, you can tell it because it has a red berry on it now. Coming up on the left side, you can see the red berries. There's some of them, they're all over this entrance here. The Brazilian pepper was imported around the turn of the century as an ornamental. Now, right straight ahead of us, those long canes coming down to the water are the drop roots or the prop roots of the red mangrove. Look upon them sort of like a crutch to hold up the branches of the mangrove as it grows. You can't really tell it from these mangroves here because about 7 years ago they were just taking over this entrance here to this canal, and we had to get permission from the state to cut our way through here. if you cut mangroves indiscriminately, they'll throw the book at you. It's an amazing phenomenon. The red mangrove is an amazing shrub. The root structures of the mangrove are obviously they're down under the water, and thousands and thousands of little microbes, little tiny baby shrimps, little tiny baby shells, they all congregate around the root structure. And that's where the young fish are born. And they live off of all of that life that's down there. So, you know, I sort of look upon the root structure of the mangroves as Publix underwater. The next level of this shrub is what they call the roost. It's right just a little bit above the water, and birds can sit on that and wait for little minnows to go by and stick their beak in and have lunch or breakfast. Then the top part of the mangrove is known as the canopy. It's so dense and all the branches are mixed up tightly that a bird can get in there at night and sleep without any fear of a predator coming in and getting it, because it can't fly in. So the mangrove is really an essential part of our habitat here. This little island here on the left is my most favorite place in Naples, because during the breeding season for the birds, it is a sanctuary. Two species, you can see some of the nests in there now. They come back every year. There are two species in there. The yellow-crowned night heron, which is a gorgeous bird, and then the tricolored heron. The tricolored heron used to be called the, I'm having one of those senior moments, the Louisiana heron. And it is a much more romantic term than the tricolored heron. Now, see where all those houses are? About 7 or 8 years ago, the right side used to look exactly like the left side. And a developer came in here and just cut down everything. And I'll be honest with you, the morning that it happened, I cried. Because this is one of the few remaining pristine areas in Naples. And I'm scared to death, because over here on the left, it looks like somebody's trying to clear to put more houses, and that will be the demise of the left side.